All right, welcome to another edition of Have You on the Wrist podcast. I'm your host, Mike Larry, and today we got a hip hop legend in the building, man. This is somebody who's a pioneer of hip hop in the city where I'm from, Boston, Massachusetts. In case y'all didn't know, and I'm talking about the legendary Tony Rhome. Give it up.
Have you on the wrist?
That's good with you. Chilling, man. Welcome to Have You on the Wrist podcast. Tell the people a little bit about yourself, man. Give them a background of, who you are.
Well, started out in the Bean with, where you from. You know what I'm saying? Where the streets was grimy. We was RSO. We was one of the leading, we was one of the leading groups that was trying to do the thing at that time. You know what I'm saying? It was way back at the beginning of hip hop, as you know that. Then we moved on to clean up the streets with the Wise Guys group.
So how did our
Steph Jeff and Dog had a group with two rappers.
Now when you say Dog, you talking about Ray Dog? Benzino.
Yeah.
Okay.
Benzino had a group. So we used to battle back then, and I used to tear their ass up. So he got rid of his group, but him and Jeff, he was a DJ back then.
Okay.
Yeah, Benzino was a dope DJ on the turn knob. You know what I'm saying? He was the only one that used to use the turn knob back then. He was dope. But when we formed RSO, it was the PC crew, which was me and Orange Man, and Dog came in as a rapper because Jeff was, Jeff, he was stupid on the wheels.
Yeah.
Dog transformed to a rapper like that, but he got a good head on the shoulders. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that's when we formed RSO.
That's dope.
Two different groups, yo.
Oh, so y'all was two different groups. To me, you was more like the lyricist of the group. Like I remember going inside Pen Music and buying that album with One in the Chamber on there. How was it back in the day? For those who don't know, they had a song back in the day called One in the Chamber that had a lot of controversy. I mean, speak on that. How did that go?
It's funny how the One in the Chamber, the stuff that I was rapping about right then, that was true. And as you see, it's still going on now. It's still going on now, you know what I'm saying? But the thing about it, I was so much in the streets back then, I didn't even realize that what was going on. Dog had told me, Benzino, he had told me, yo, write a rap about this dude. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, the kid, he told me the whole story. Yeah. So it was easy to put together because the story was right there. I had to tell the truth and put it in rhyme form. So everything I said on One in the Chamber, that's all true. And that's how we lost our deal once they heard that thing.
Speaking of deals, I believe one time y'all was on Tommy Boy? Was y'all ever on Tommy Boy?
Yeah. See, Tommy Boy heard One in the Chamber. They heard One in the Chamber and wanted to sign immediately.
Okay.
And of course, shit, we gonna sign. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but then
once the controversy came out, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, Ice-T was having some trouble with his label. He had a song, he dropped a song, but we came out with the song and then, it ended up getting dropped. But, back then, it was different. You was rapping for real. But it wasn't like about the money or nothing. You was right. You was going to say it. And then the same thing, we came out with the next song and I said the same exact lyrics on a different song to show that you ain't going to stop me from what I'm saying. I think it was we did so many songs, but on the same song, I said this. I started off One in the Chamber. There was a second song, but I said the first 8 lyrics at One in the Chamber again on the next record we put out.
Now, did the city try to sue y'all behind that?
Yeah, they got all over Norfolk here. They were trying to lock us up on the 1914 law. You know what I'm saying? They had dudes' phones tapped and all. Really, when you think about it, it was a bunch of bullshit, but you know what I'm saying? And remind you, we was younger then. It ain't like we was grown men at the time when this was going on. We was young dudes in the street. Right.
Because I was a kid back then myself. So how did y'all hook up with Queen Latifah in the Flavor Unit? How did that come about?
Queen Latifah, she was, as you know, she had a Flavor Unit management, which was already big before Flavor Unit. Because if you notice that Queen Latifah, if you look back, she was signed to Flavor Unit management, but not the Flavor Unit records. She was on signing. But the Flavor Unit management, back then, man, like all those dudes that I met on that Flavor Unit Management, they was real down to earth, they was real people, and they was doing their thing, but they was real low profile with it. They wasn't trying to be big and flashy with the thing, but they got a lot of artists. I can't remember them now, but if you look back,
yeah, I was doing a lot of work with Freddie Fox back then, right?
Freddie Fox, we did a song with Freddie Fox. Matter of fact, Freddie Fox came up here. Freddie Fox is a real dude. You ever meet him?
Nah, I never met Freddie Fox, but y'all made a lot of records with him back during that time.
Yeah, man. I wonder what. I ain't seen him since in a while, but it's a lot of cool dudes that I met doing the music thing, and Freddie Fox is definitely one of them.
That's dope. So, were y'all ever signed? Because it was like a lot of rumors back then, like right around the time Eazy-E died. Like, was y'all ever signed to Ruthless Records or Rap-A-Lot Records at one time?
Well, the truth is, we was never signed, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is that we went down there. He threw us down there. He loved us.
Yeah.
The last time we seen Eazy, he was straight. 2 weeks later, dead. We was about to. That's why we had a song with Bones and Thugs. We remixed the we had to take Bones and Thugs off and put MOP on.
Oh, y'all got a song with MOP? Okay.
Yeah, when we did the one of the chamber remix of so many songs, but we was about to sign with him, but he ended up passing away. He pulled us down there. He loved us, and he was ready to do the thing. But then 2 weeks later, dude passed away. But he looked fine when we was down there.
Wow, that must have been a crazy experience, man. So I noticed y'all did a lot of records with Mobb Deep too, man. How did y'all end up linking up with Mobb Deep?
I forgot what label we was on at that time, but it was a movie soundtrack coming out called Original Gangsters, and we did a song together. It was called The War's On. I think it's still on YouTube now. It was basically for the movie soundtrack for The War's On. For Original Gangsters, the song was called The War's On. But those are some all the people that I did music with, I never did music with somebody that was like, it was all down to earth people, like just like, you know what I'm saying, they wasn't too, even though they had to know whatever, they wasn't flash. But Mobb Deep, that's another group that was down to earth.
Because I heard, back in them days, I heard Mobb Deep rolling up to the bean, coming through OP and just showing love.
We up at Frank's place in Mattapan.
Oh, word? Okay.
Have you on the wrist, baby?
Yep.
That's dope.
Yep.
So, how did y'all, how did y'all come across, The Source? Because at one time, I know y'all actually hosted the Source Awards. I think the very first Source Awards, was it?
Yeah, The Source came from, it used to be a radio show called Street Beat, 88.9, back in the days. Used to go down there and could rap live on the radio about it. The host was Go-Go Dave. Go-Go Dave had the idea to come up with the Source magazine. It started in Boston. It used to be just one sheet of paper. Then it got bigger and bigger. The first office was right over there on Wood Ave in Hyde Park.
Right, shout out Hyde Park.
That's where the Source office started at.
On Wood Ave? Wow.
Right on Wood Ave. People don't know that, but that's where the Source office, that's where the first Source office was, on the 3rd floor of Bum's house, bless his heart, and that's where they started the Source office at.
Wow.
On Wood Ave. And then it moved to New York and blew up.
Wow. So, how was it? Because that was the one that y'all hosted, the first Source Music Awards, that was the one where Snoop and everything, it was a little thing with Snoop and the East Coast and all that. How did that go? Was you there for that?
That was the one in New York.
What was the vibe during that time? Because I ain't never seen nothing like that since.
It was a lot of drama in there. It was a good show, of course. Death Row, they put on an excellent show. Stage show. They had did you ever see it? They had the cages and all that. Yeah. But it was a lot of drama going on, and also we had drama with I can't even think of his name. I like him too. He's a dope ass rapper back then. Because he had a Legion of Doom, and we had Keith Murray.
Oh yeah. Oh, I heard stories about when Keith Murray came to Boston. It was bad, man. It was bad.
We had seen him in the Source Awards, but and I know he was probably about to break him up, but there was so much thing going on there. But I liked it that the West Coast was in the East Coast.
Yeah.
Speaking their mind. It wasn't like we was over here and then niggas say, oh, we in the West Coast. Nah, they over here speaking their mind.
Yeah.
Can't get no realer than that.
How was the tension there? Like, was there a lot of tension in the building that day? Like, how was the atmosphere?
Yeah, backstage too.
Yeah.
That was my first time seeing Drake.
Okay.
And he was a big dude too. You could tell he been in the gym. He was big. He was like a horse. But I liked it, the fact that Snoop came out and said, you know what I'm saying? You heard what he said.
Yeah.
You know we all like Snoop.
Shit, we love Snoop. You know what I'm saying? We can't front. Good hip hop is good hip hop, man. But like, how did y'all transition from RSO to Made Men? What was that? Because was you a part of Made Men? Was you a part of that?
I was a part of Made Men. That's why we all had the Made Men chain.
Okay.
Made Men was like, Made Men really was going to be like, it's like the organization, like RSO was a real solid organization. It was Made Men. And we was going to form groups out of that. But we had the Wise Guy signed to, Benzino did a lot of work, man. He had the Wise Guy signed to Def Jam. So we was going to form groups from there. That was going to be the whole Made Men organization. Me, Mass Murderer Mike, and somebody else was going to make another group. Because, if I'm in a group, we keep the same group, the same RSO.
Right.
And Cool G just went, and that's what made Men. You see the great music they made. But then, the Paul Pierce stabbing thing that happened. And that's when they lost the deal. That's when we lost the deal with Def Jam. That's what stopped the whole Wise Guy thing. But motherfuckers don't know that that's the realest thing that people did is that we did. Is that all those gangs, 25 years later, you see them together, you don't even think they was killing each other back then. I can't even tell who's who.
I mean,
because they all together now.
When Wise Guys came out, I was like, how the hell did they get motherfuckers from this block with motherfuckers from this block on the same record? These people shooting at each other.
Killing each other.
Yeah.
You know they were shooting each other all the time. That's why I'm saying people don't understand how real that is. And to see these dudes together today, still, we just had our 25th anniversary. All the same dudes. I forget who was in what gang. It ain't even a game. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man.
It's real as shit, Joe.
Y'all put a lot on for the city. I ain't even gonna front. But what happened backstage during that Made Men show at the Boston Garden back then when it was the Rough Riders tour? Something happened, man. They shut down the whole tour. Something happened backstage, man.
Yeah, see, the only thing about the Rough Rider tour is that I wasn't there that night.
Okay.
I ain't gonna just say I wasn't there that night.
Heard.
I wasn't even in the building.
Heard.
Doing something else. Maybe I was lucky that I was in the building or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? I wasn't even in the building that night, so I ain't even gonna tell that story.
Heard. So, now you got some new things going on right now. You talking about you're doing a new group, right? It's called GTA. Okay, let's talk about that.
House. He just got out a couple of years ago, and it's like I did a lot of songs. I never really used to listen to my music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the stuff I'm doing with House, he makes me listen to. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, I got this shit as my alarm. It's like you think I'm on my own shit because I never even really listened to. I used to just make the music and enjoy making it. But now with this GTA, it's like some new shit. Man, you'll be hearing some shit soon. I just did a little radio promo, and when he did that radio promo, when he recorded that I sent you,
yeah,
he works for the city.
Okay.
He told him, listen, I gotta take a shit. So he came up, he dropped me up here. They don't know what's a studio. He came in there, dropped his verse, went back to work. He worked for the city in the truck.
Wow, that's great.
He recorded that in like 10 minutes.
So why did you start rapping? Like, what did you inspire? Like, what inspired you to start rapping?
People, if I tell the kids now, they probably don't hear. I was like the Treacherous 3. You know what I'm saying? The Treacherous 3 and the Fearless 4. Those are my groups back then. And back then, I used to go to the record store. I used to buy anything that had the Sugar Hill label on it. You know the record? Anything that had that on it, I didn't give a fuck what it was. I bought it and brought it home, figured out what it was then. As long as I knew it was a rap on there. But see, back then that was when rap first started.
Yeah.
That was the early. I was no rapper. It was rapping up here. I remember when I first came from Providence, because I moved to Providence for a year. I was out there tearing niggas up on the battle. I wasn't even that nice because, you know what I'm saying? But there was no, and then, but what they had in Providence, now you see how you were from Boston.
Yeah,
so you see how close Providence is to Boston?
Of course, 45-minute ride.
They had breakdancing. So I never could do none of the breakdance moves, but I know how to up rock. So when I moved back to Boston, I started doing the up rock. Niggas was like, what the fuck you doing? The soldier dance and all that shit. Next year, motherfuckers started breaking. But I never knew, I didn't break, but only do. But they've been breaking anything. That's where I got, my name used to be TMC before Tony Rhome. There used to be a great group out there called TMC. And they used to be breaking, and I was going to be a TMC rapper. But then I moved back to Boston. But breaking was in Boston, was in Providence way before it made it up here in the beat. I came up here, niggas was dissing.
Yeah, man, for our listeners that don't know, man, Boston is really close to Providence. That's like a 30-minute drive, man. That's like nothing. Yeah. We used to run down there all the time. Especially when the liquor stores were closed on Sunday.
Yeah, that's where you seen all the rap shows at the thing, with the Providence, well, it's the Dunkin' Donuts Center now, I think.
Oh, okay. They always changing the name, yeah. That's why I see my first Biggie concert, actually, was out in Providence. It was Biggie, Total, and Craig Mack. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Mobb Deep, yep. That was Mobb Deep first that came out.
Yeah, I love me some Mobb Deep, man.
So, any chance of we seeing any kind of new RSO project, anything? Like, you know, do you still talk to
talking about it?
ED and Dog and them?
It was actually just getting ready to do a show. But
I seen that in Cambridge, right?
Right, but the only thing that stopped the show was the COVID, because you had to prove you had the COVID shot. And some dudes on the I got my COVID shot, but some dudes on the team was like, you know, just like some people out there, I ain't getting the COVID shot. I ain't gonna put them out there who it was, but some niggas made it clear today, I'm not taking the shot.
Hey man, to each his own, man. Each his own. But yo, that show would have been.
I'm always down for the reunions.
That show would have been crazy. Like, I mean, I would have flew up for that one. I mean, they had Ed O.G. on there, y'all. I forget.
Yeah, I had Benzino. Me and Benzino was on a live. I think it's still on my Facebook. It was like, yeah, hit it with one more dose, show. Hit it with one more dose, but I don't know if you would have to. It's like it's the same thing right now. Like GTA is coming out. You say, do you stick with the times or do you stick with the original rap, or you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like me, I only rap one way, and it's like, unless it's a song, you give me a title and you say, okay, we're gonna rap about this. If you notice on in the RSO shit, niggas was shooting, niggas was killing shit. But in all my raps, I didn't really want to talk about the killer shit. I was like more of a spitter, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that was the difference between things. Like right now, I know there's a lot of young dudes out there. Rap is different, Joe. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about how dope you are. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's about what you can get your back and then push yourself. You know, get yourself out there. You ain't gonna trick me. I mean, I've been in the shit when it was real. When it was, if you was dope, you was on. You know what I'm saying? But now it ain't like that, Joe.
So who you listening to now? Like, who you feeling from the new generation out here?
I don't know. Like my playlist right now, it's got a whole bunch of funny shit on there because like right now, my shower list starts off with 30 Gauge Special. I love that. You hear that 30 Gauge Special Coogee rap?
In Coogee rap?
Yeah.
Yes.
Legendary DJ Snow in the building.
That's my type of shit. You know what I'm saying? That's my type of shit. But at the same time, so I'm not lost in the game, I pay attention to the other shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because motherfuckers be like, oh, that shit's thick. But in our time, we had our Coney Rapids. What the fuck was him?
Yeah. He was a gimmick, yeah. He was a gimmick.
We had our Coney Rapids. You know what I'm saying?
But back, I think
chilling. Gizmo's chilling. What more can I say? Top billing.
The beat was hard,
shit, but it's a classic.
Right.
But it's a classic.
Right.
They gonna be now the young kid got ours. We just ain't feeling their classics. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand that. Hey, we had our corny shit, and now they got theirs. And that's gonna the shit that we call it corny, they call it classics.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because that's how it is. And the motherfuckers that listened to Milk is chilling back then that wasn't in the rap, they was like, what the fuck are you doing? What is this shit? Remember another corny one?
Well, my brother, this legendary DJ Snow, I want to give you much respect, bro. I'm gonna tell you, you're a legend in the game. Almighty RSO, and the whole fam. That was a big movement back in that era, and it's still big today. Like I said, a lot of people may not know or remember, but that Bad Boy video, y'all was stomping people out. People was getting stomped out in that video. It was crazy.
Oh, yeah, that was live footage. That's live footage.
Yeah. Y'all pulled up in a helicopter looking up. Hey,
I forgot about that shit,
yo, Cash Money wasn't the first team to come out with a helicopter first. Y'all pulled up in a helicopter and the start of the video. I'm just gonna let you know that. Nobody did that.
We were shooting our own videos back then.
Exactly.
We were paying for and shooting our own videos.
But back then, I don't know if people know, you could not come to Boston because RSO was on your ass. They was at your shows. Listen, I don't know if you remember Strictly Hip Hop, Sweetie's Entertainment.
Al Sweetie, I talk to Al Sweetie all the time.
You know what I'm saying? He got tons of videos in his attic with y'all on there, bruh. All the old school shit from
I just got in touch with Al Sweetie last week because you know they got a hip hop archive in Boston now.
I did not know that.
No.
They got a hip hop. They started this like 3 years ago. They had the first thing where they had everybody from Boston bringing any kind of hip hop you had to put in the archive. So soon you're gonna just be able to go to online and be typing, like say if you type in LOG, all LOG shit's gonna come up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They putting that together now, and I told them, listen, the man y'all need to get with for some videos is Al Sweeney.
Oh, he got tons of videotapes. Man, we used to smoke weed up in the attic at Al's crib, man, and we used to watch the tapes of y'all at the Strand and shit. We like, what the fuck? Look at this shit. Like, that shit crazy, man.
Yeah, he just did a show outside his house.
Oh, word?
Yeah, he turned his deck. He built a deck outside, and matter of fact, Benzino posed that performed there too. He built a deck outside and did a show. I didn't make it, but he did a show outside his house in the backyard about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Man, shout out Uncle Al, man. I'm gonna hit him up and get him on the podcast, dog. I didn't know he was still out here.
He got a lot of knowledge of it. He was there.
He was there.
He got it on tape.
He got tapes, bro. We used to have to sit on tapes. He got them shits in the attic, strapped to the ceiling, bro. And we was kids, and we would go to the studio with him when he was editing the tapes and stuff. And every now and then he let us interview somebody if someone came to town or whatever. And we go through his house, and he had the little promo stuff from Slip and Slide Records or whatever have you know. But yeah, shout out Al, man. That's a good dude, man.
Shout out Al Sweeney, no doubt, Joe. I told him he need to bring the Strictly Hip Hop back, yo.
Yeah.
But he's still out there doing his thing, though.
Yeah. So what's
some kind of show going on?
What's in the future for Tony Rhome, man? What's going on, Rhome?
I'm trying to move this GTA thing. We already got songs wrote, but it's just that the Corona thing slowed it down. So now you're about to get back in effect. I'm just doing it for the love of it. That's why when you know what I'm saying, it's my man house. He's a monster. He would have been on the Wise Guy thing. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But back then it was a big drug thing going on, and he turned himself in to a Fed case. Did his time, and now he's out. He's been out a while, and I'm talking about, like I said, I listen to shit. You know what I'm saying? I listen to him, and he's so quick with it, crafty with it. You know what I'm saying? He's a real MC. He's a real MC for sure. But the only thing that scares me is that I know that real MC ain't just because you real, that don't mean that you're getting ready to, you know what I'm saying? You need to write back and everything behind you to support. You got to get on your line game. So it's a whole bunch of work I got to do before that. You know what I'm saying? I got to get a team to help me. We ain't just gonna bust out and be like, you know what I'm saying? You know, I already know the deal. It don't work that way. You got to put some kind of work, you know, and get your organization spread and out of town, because it's more when we're rap for Boston, it's 50 states, yo.
Exactly.
It's like, you got to think of it as drug blocks. You got 50 drug blocks, but you only want to sell on one. Okay.
Yeah. Now,
gotta get out there and be universal.
Speaking of that, one thing I want to ask you, because you got legendary songs with Mobb Deep, Mad Lion, everybody. You know what I'm saying? You've traveled, you've been in the game a long time now. What advice would you give these up and coming? Because Boston's so talented, man. I see so many talented artists from Boston, and they trying to make it. What advice would you give the up and coming generation that are trying to, especially the young people from Boston that are talented, that are trying to break through? What would you tell them?
What I would tell them is they might not understand, but I don't know. I'm going to speak for me, because I'm here. It ain't a lot of togetherness. You know what I'm saying? I got a tape. I don't really want to hear your tape yet, but you want somebody to listen to yours. You know know what I'm saying?
Right.
That it's 50 states. I mean, this is what I tell dudes. It's 50 states. Why only they rapping in all 50? But you know it's only people coming out of certain spots. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Down south used to be corny. They got their love together. Used to be corny. Used to keep working. You know what I'm saying? Now someplace you gotta say, shit, I need to go down south to get on. It used to be I want to go to New York to get on.
Yeah.
No, dude, it's only because you gotta. If you get to now, I'm only speaking for Boston because I ain't in other states, and I don't know why rappers ain't coming out of this state like they should be. But I know rappers rap all over 50 states. But I see down south got themselves together. There's a lot of people coming from hey, but they got their shit together. They used to be corny down south back when rap first came out. Then it transformed to the two. They started from the bottom now here. I ain't hating. I respect it.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. We need more together in this. But if a man play your tape, support him. If he's nice, support him. That's why I said the thing. I had made a post a couple weeks ago. I don't give a fuck if you're enemies. If you're nice, I'm doing a song with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it's about, yo. I told him I do songs with my enemy. I made a post because these songs for the fight that we need togetherness up here. Togetherness. The more you grow, if your man's on, now you got a chance to get on. Because somebody's on that's close to you.
Right.
You should want to put the more people on around you, the better you to get on. That's why down south there's so many options to get on. You know what I'm saying?
That's the toughest part about the Northeast New England area. You might have one or two artists that get on, but they don't work together to bring out your. I mean, if you're a strong artist, you got to be strong enough to bring the team up over the wall with you to take it to the next level. So, I mean, I understand totally what you're saying. I mean, the unity up north. That's what basically killed the game for up north. For everyone up north, is them not sticking together. It was a constant divide.
Yeah. Like I give. It's like I don't know if the youngsters know that the South wasn't always doing what they do down there.
No.
They got their shit together. They got that thing down there like that.
Well, remember, people don't do the history. When I started DJing, the first thing that I did was go back in history and started collecting break beats and listening to funk records in order to understand where all this stuff come from. Nowadays, the younger generation doesn't care about history. You know, they just want to, hey, Big Daddy Kane don't exist. What do you mean he doesn't exist? Coogee Rap, what do you mean you can't? I mean, have you listened to him? Have you listened to Special Ed? They don't care about that. They just want to care about right now what happened in the last 20 years. What happened from when Drake came out in 2009? Mm-hmm. That's it. Nothing else doesn't matter. So
yeah, and that's way after.
We gotta educate. We gotta educate. This is what we do with Heavy on the Wrist podcast. We educating people on what's going on out here, so you can know what's going on. So you can sit down with your kids and say, hey, this is what hip hop was, and this is what hip hop is. It's all relevant. You know what I'm saying? There's no legacy tours for us. You know what I'm saying? You old school if you passed 5 years ago now. You know what I'm saying? It's deep. It's a deep game right now. It's a deep game. But we need the OGs like you to educate and keep us fresh out here on the streets of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Keep us abreast of what's going on out here.
And there's so much in hip hop. Like I just found out some shit. Not to get off the topic, right? I was listening to a thing, and it was KRS. He was saying how even though he battled the Juice Crew, he wanted to be down with the Juice Crew.
Yes, I did hear that.
He gave the tape and they didn't like his tape because they said nobody ain't listening to that conscious stuff. Uh-huh. But he wanted to be down with them. That's how that thing started. He was like, yeah. He was telling me something. He was saying how back then, how even though she ain't hot now, but back in the days, Shantae was going to bro, ripping niggas apart on the mic.
Yep.
I was like,
shout out Shantae.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I went on tour with Shantae and she's so real, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just that, of course, she didn't have a long career in the thing, but she's one of the originals from back in the days too.
Yo, one of her songs came on the radio. I got a satellite radio, and it came on, and she was spitting like she had toured out every female MC, and she was young. Like people don't know, Shantae was like 13 when she started, so she was like maybe 17, and she going through Latifah, MC Light, Yo. And I was like, this chick is incredible.
Yeah, she was raw.
I like her because people don't know she saved a lot of bullshit in the game because Full Force had a routine going. When they made the song Roxanne, they already had the, remember the real Roxanne?
Yeah.
The real. That was the one. She wasn't a real rapper, but for the looks, she was supposed to come out and answer the song.
Right.
Shantae beat her to it by doing the song on the radio. They took the song from the radio and made it a record.
Right.
And that's what, so she messed up. That's why when she came out, she was saying, "I'm the real Roxanne." Roxanne came out, "I'm Roxanne," but Roxanne was a real rapper.
Right.
The other real Roxanne, she just had the look. She wasn't a real rapper.
Nah, she ain't know nothing. She wasn't about that life.
But yeah, man. You got any shout outs you want to give out there before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I want to give out a shout out, of course, all the Boston and everybody down there in Florida holding my man from Boston down. It was a pleasure being on the show, yo. And hopefully be on here again when we get this GTA together with me and my man House.
Definitely, yeah. Y'all could definitely pull up, man. Got anything?
So, when do you expect this project to come?
So, we started recording next week.
Next week?
Like the first thing we just did, my man, he got a radio show. My brother, Housing Brother, that's the third thing I sent you.
Mm-hmm.
But we got some songs already wrote. All we got to do is get in the studio recorded.
Okay.
But the studio recording was closed down, but now it's open. So
Can we get a 16? Can we get a 16?
Oh, I'm in. You can see where I'm at?
Nah.
Okay.
Okay, but yeah, I didn't know Facebook I could
Okay.
I'm at my people's house.
Okay.
Set up at the kitchen.
Okay.
With the Antonio and Saldi hoodie on.
Yep.
Yeah, because I'm doing I do the fundraiser for the kids. Pop one up here.
Word.
So I don't want to,
No, it's all good. That's good. But we appreciate you doing that fundraiser, though.
I do the fundraiser for the Pop Warner for the kids because they got like 365 boys and girls, and from 5 to 15. So they got to clean up the parks now because you got to walk the park now to clean up all the needles, and it's crazy up here.
Crazy, man.
It's crazy up here. Have you seen the dope spot down on Mass Ave? How it is now?
That shit's ridiculous, man. Right there where the hospital is, that shit's crazy. I seen that.
Man, it's crazy. So I'm like, somebody got to do something for the kids so they can still play in the parks and everything.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm out. I just took this little break right here to do this.
Okay.
Word.
We appreciate
that, man.
We appreciate you.
And shout out all your platforms if people want to donate and if they want to follow you or find your music. Shout out how they can get in touch with you or follow you.
Yeah, so I'll be pushing your shit to my people too. And when I get this CD together, I'll holler at you.
Word.
No
Okay.
doubt.
All
No
right.
doubt. Hey, good. It's good. That was a good one, man. Y'all real niggas.
I appreciate you,
No
bro.
doubt, man. Shout out to Legendary
I'm gonna try to
Tony
make it down there soon, yo.
Yeah,
Get
pull
together.
up. I
No
got
doubt.
you. Legendary.
Because I want to it's like unknowns, meaning that I'm going down south, I'm getting somebody that don't know me, you don't know you, how we met, we did a song together, and it's gonna be real, because that's how we gonna do it. I'm coming down and looking for somebody nice, and we're doing a song. It's just gonna be simple as that. You know what I'm saying? And it can't get no realer.
Right.
So I'll be down there soon, because I need to get at least one male artist from down south, unknown, and one thing unknown on the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. I got you.
All right, heavy on the
Definitely.
wrist. Heavy on the wrist.
You already know, baby. Legendary Tony Rhome, man. Thanks for pulling up, dog. It's been real. We out.
All right, man.
Peace.
One love.
I gotta get it in here.
So there you got it, folks. I just want to give a heavy on the wrist shout out, man. Much respect to the homie Tony Rhome, one of the original almighty RSO, made men, wise guys, pioneers of this hip hop shit. You know what I'm saying? He laid a lot of foundation down for these artists that are out here now to be able to do what y'all do, for real, man. Shout out almighty RSO. Thanks for Tony Rhome pulling up once again with legendary Tony Rhome. So we're going to get right into it because we're closing the year strong and we got a lot going on. So November 26th, that date again is November 26th. We're going to be at the Cigar Quarters, y'all, in Haines City. Mile High Entertainment presents Tony Black and Jacoby Brunton two young, really good comedians on the rise, y'all. It's gonna be a grown and sexy event. Talking about deck out, come dressed accordingly, you know. Grown and sexy again. The tickets are $10 in advance, $10 in advance, $15 at the door, and that's the Cigar Quarters, y'all. November 26th, 344 East Main Street, Haines City. And from there, Wednesday, December 1st, we're gonna be at Richie Snow's birthday bash. Special guest Benzino. That's gonna be in Orlando at 2201 South OBT. Doors open at 9. This will be a sold out event. For VIP and bottles, definitely hit me up. We got specials with those. Also, from there, Saturday, December 4th, we're gonna shoot up to Atlanta. We're gonna be in Stone Mountain. Sound Junkie presents BMF Empire. Blade Brown, Elijah Lamar will be in the building, along with the whole BMF camp. Look out for that one. That one's gonna be crazy, y'all. It's gonna be at the Atrium. Showtime's at 9. That's at 5479 Memorial Drive, Stone Mountain, Georgia, the Atrium. So make sure you get there early. This will be a sold out event. And finally, stay in tune. New View ENT 352 presents Trina Live in concert December 17th. We're gonna shoot up to Gainesville, y'all. Ship Lucci. That's 6 West University Ave, Gainesville, Florida. That's December 17th, right before Christmas. Come out and see Trina. Come rock with us. So, without that being said, man, look for a lot of interviews coming up. We got a lot going on. It's been another edition of Heavy on the Wrist podcast, and we out.
Heavy on the wrist, baby.